It's BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com, where I'm promoting polite patriotism. So nice, polite ladies and gents can look, walk, talk, feel, and do great. Teach kids to communicate well offline about what they learn online, because such an online literate community, it'd be great if we'd have good conversations about it, if we were acted nice enough to talk. And then be proud nationalists defending our country against globalists and globalism, which is the idea that international institutions should run where you live, as opposed to you run your own country and then you get along well with others that worth getting along with, and so on. Right? That's nationalism versus globalism. And it's a pretty common populist debate right now. And the way people are being kind of, brainwashed is to go along with globalism. And the people that are into that, especially on the more liberal left-wing end, normal liberals, normal Canadian conservatives, liberals, used to be back in the day, right? You could always talk to each other and joke around. But the new radical left-created Antifa-style commie zombie liberals, genderless, dressed in black, corporate clones, no men or women, can't talk to people they disagree with, can't talk to each other, make sure nobody can talk. They're the people that are going to destroy our ability to do anything except for put up with that crap. Right? So that's, what's going on right now. So support the manforwars.com efforts as you like. Success breeds more, and you'll have a lot more polite, patriotic people making more, or it doesn't, and you'll have a lot more, zombified, rude, sketchy people, making more. Right? If polite Canadians or polite people wherever don't work hard on making more, rude, sketchy people work super hard on making more because they can't do anything else, or at least can't do much else comfortably. Right? If polite Canadians, it's nice and polite, and then they just look at, talk to each other, mind a business, read their book. Rude, sketchy people can't look at, talk to each other comfortably, and then walk around bothering people and make more rude, sketchy people. Right? So that's a key. That's why, in part, I've got manforwars.com. It's currently 5:19 p.m. on Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. Downtown Toronto, Canada. And, this video is tentatively called Canadians Should Know Germany is Paying Refugees to Go Home. Canadians should know Germany is paying refugees to go home. Right? And this article is from zerohedge.com, and I'm going to show you this article and read a little bit of it, and they do a pretty good job. Of analyzing things, often from a financial perspective, but sometimes social, cultural, political, whatever. And here at zerohedge.com, it says here, Merkel offering to pay 1 year's living expenses if refugees leave Europe. And for context, Angela Merkel, she is the Chancellor of Germany, the leader of the country of Germany, which is basically the leader of Europe in the EU. Germany is the dominant country in the European Union. And she had radical left-wing open borders policies where she was known as Mama Merkel, Mother Merkel. She has no kids of her own, by the way. Like a lot of leaderless, childless leaders, they don't care if the world gets all screwed up, right? So, but anyway, so she was paid, bribed, bought, coerced, given this position of power if she did horrible things to, where she lived and the people there. She, wide open borders, don't say anything different, don't talk about it, don't be a jerk, don't be racist, don't ask how this process is going to work, don't ask how much it's going to cost, don't say anything. Just do it. And if anybody says anything, everyone be scared and make sure they don't. And then it screwed up Germany, screwed up Paris, France, which is now a shithole, people crapping on the streets everywhere, whatever. And screwed up a whole bunch. Spain screwed up. A lot of parts of Europe are screwed up. Radical migrant gangs, robbing, raping, and murdering people, in part because those people are all cucked up. Right? They're not polite ladies and gents. They're just, whatever, can't say or do anything. Whatever, can't say or do anything. Right? So what do I mean? I mean, in Germany, a radical African migrant, nothing against all Africans, because it could happen in Africa with a German migrant. Same principle would apply, right? But a radical African migrant who recently got to Germany walked around a German subway train for 2 hours, molesting 18 women, right? 18 women. This guy just got to Germany like a month ago, and he walks around the German subway train molesting 18 women. which would suck, which does suck, obviously, and it would suck the same if, and I'm not big into this racist, get your mantis in the bunch stuff, because there's other factors involved too, but if a German blonde white guy went to Africa and walked around a African subway train for 2 hours, love black boobies, love black bum-bums, don't say anything, you scared sheepish, sideways, lying, bitchy, sketchy people, I'm molesting every girl here, it would suck. Because it would suck anywhere. Right? But in Germany, this happened. Why? A police officer, for example, asked me this question. He just came over and make sure I'm cool or whatever. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? I'm vlogging. What's going on? He goes, oh, what do you mean? I'm promoting polite patriotism. I'm vlogging. He says, oh, really? And he says, what do you mean? I was like, well, you heard what's happening in Europe, right? And he goes, yep. He just says, yes. Like, he didn't get into it, but he said, yep. I said, you heard what's happening in Europe with migration and all that? He goes, yep. And I said, great. So I said, officer, if you were in civilian clothes and I was in civilian clothes and we were polite, patriotic Canadian men who respected each other, then you wouldn't have this 18 women molested by a migrant for 2 hours on one of our Toronto Transit Commission subway trains. Because the guys would respect each other and be cool and not bother each other, not make it hard to look at, talk to, listen to each other, or whatever. And then they would just notice, hey, you see that over there? Yeah. You want to go over and check it out? Yeah, sure. And we'd go over and we'd stop it. Right? Hey, what is it? What's up? Oh, you don't know this girl, do you? No, okay, you gotta go over there. Why? You gotta go over there, we're gonna call security. Let's get to that side and try and get out of here. Yeah, honey, it's none of your business, strange men bothering women where we live. No, I'm sorry. What I mean is serious. Seriously. None of your business. Anyway, so we should stop it, right? And that's what would happen, right? You wouldn't have radical migrant gangs robbing, raping, and murdering people that are all cucked up and can't communicate well and don't respect each other, and the radical migrant gangs are like, we're not assimilating with this shithole, right? And we're just going to get together and we're going to rob, rape, and murder them. Want you a bitch getting up my ass? No problem. We'll take you to the garage, gang rape you, chop you up in little pieces, and throw you in the river. So that's what they do. Guys, girls, doesn't matter. Yeah. So that's what happens, and that's what's happening in Europe and in Germany, right? Other parts of Europe, and we can stop that happening here by having, the ability to be polite, patriotic Canadians who respect each other, communicate well, and then discuss some simple things. How is this going to work, right? Canada is not racist. We're going to let in 100 million people from around the world. In fact, not just 100 million. We're going to let in 100 million Chinese people, 100 million Muslims, 100 million Africans, 100 million South Americans, 100 million, that's what... Then we'll have 450 million people, and we'll be great. And it'll be Canada, the one we've always known and loved. What? Are you nuts? Look, Canada was made by, mostly, obviously some significant exceptions, but mostly nice white people. Nice white European people. British, French, Scottish, and so on. Then they had some minorities. Some here longer, some not. Then we came up with a way to be world famous, nice, polite Canadians. Don't worry what we do, don't worry what we say, and make sure we have a great country. Right? Then we comfortably and slowly and organically grow our house party by bringing in only the best and brightest immigrants who take time to want to come here and really dream of coming here and spend a long time learning to love the country and looking forward to it. And then when they get here, they are happy as pigs in shit. I know, I have met them. They work at Tim Hortons sometimes. And you go to Tim Hortons, and there's a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Indian man. Hello, welcome to Tim Hortons. I'm so happy to be in Canada. It's so great. Hey, buddy, where are you from? I'm from Hyderabad, India. He said, oh, really? When'd you get here? I got here like 6 months ago. Took me 5 years to get here. I've been dreaming about it for 5 years. But finally get here, so happy to be here, looking forward to doing great here, and I learned about the country, I respect it so much, can't wait to be a nice, polite Canadian too. That's the guy you want to let in. Or other people like that. You don't want to just let in everybody from anywhere and not be able to say shit. Right? You don't want to just prove how good a person you are by leaving your house door unlocked, right? No, I'm such a good person. I leave my doors unlocked, my car unlocked, I leave it swinging open, and anybody around, I trust that they're going to be perfectly nice. So I don't mind if they come in and eat my food and rob, rape, and murder me and my family. So I'm just a nice guy. I'm just the nicest guy in the world. And what? That's insane. Right? Well, that's what they're encouraging, right? And there's many, many other concerns about mass migration, right? If you don't care about the cultural stuff because you get your manties and panties in a bunch, if all you care about is money, no problem. I got you covered when it comes to migrants and money too, right? The more migrants you let in, especially mass migration, not controlled, a handful of the best and brightest, from different parts of the world who slowly, organically grow our country, which is mostly nice white people who are nice to each other and the minorities, and the white people and minorities like it. When you ask a 70-year-old Indian person or Chinese person, hey, do you want to go retire in India, China? They go, hell no! Are you crazy? I like this place way better than that. I don't want to turn this place into that. Right? Not that they don't love their home country, but the option to retire and live there and live like they do is an option, but a lot of them don't. They like it better here because of this nice white people and then some minorities, and then you slowly, organically, comfortably grow it so we don't screw around and screw up. Right? They don't, that's fine. Who cares? Right? Not like, screw you, I hate Christmas, I hate this, I hate that, I hate everything you people do. What the hell are you doing here? Piss off. Right? But we're supposed to be discouraged from doing anything, talking about, saying anything, let people act rude and sketchy and make it hard to talk. Anybody that can act like a human or say something smart or actually controversial, yeah, first you see me like that, they make us quiet and uncomfortable, so you can't do anything. Right? When it comes to migrants and money, getting back to that, if you care only about money, the more migrants you let in, the less money you'll make. Especially with mass migration, a lot of people. There's a little bit here and there, it doesn't really affect that much, right? But if it's mass migration, it lowers wages. Why? Because more people, same number of jobs. So a guy making $13 an hour washing dishes is now competing with a guy that'll, try and make $9 an hour. So, now he's like, well, okay, I'll take it for 11. It's like, no, you'll take it for 9, mofo, right? So the guy making $60,000, $70,000 a year as a software programmer is now competing against someone that'll be like, just got here from the Philippines, $60,000, $70,000 is a lot of money. That's enough for me to live and send some back to my family. I'll take 45. And it's like, well, we'll pay you 45. The $60,000, $70,000 a year programmer is like, hold on, I'm paying for a cottage, I got a mortgage and a house. And they're like, doesn't matter. They can do the job and they can do it for less than you. And the sheer larger number of people and the same number of jobs are only slightly increasing with this type of policy. Especially the liberal, high tax, bigger government, more messed up people need more government, now more messed up people, now need more government, now more messed up people need more government. It doesn't exactly stimulate the economy, right? It gets in the way of it, right? It doesn't work, right? And you typically don't have migrants that are, again, if it's the best and brightest from around the world, and it's a process where they learn to love where they live, they learn a lot about it, they look forward to coming here, and they fit in smoothly, and it's just a small number, then it's fine. But if it's just, please, Syrian refugee, please come to Canada. I'm Canada's miserable, weak lion, bitchy man, Prime Minister Trudeau, and I want to look good by bringing you here. Please, we'll bring you in a plane. We'll give you $50,000 for the first year you're here. We'll put you up in a hotel. We'll give you a house. Please come here. The Syrian migrants are like, actually, I'm just chilling out in Jordan, which is next door to Syria, so it's a very similar culture. There's no big culture shock. So I'm chilling out next door in Jordan. I'm hoping the Syrian war is over soon with the Russians and Americans and others trying to, put a lid on it and settle it down so I can go back and fix my country, my beloved homeland. And our miserable, weak lion, bitchy man prime ministers, please come to Canada, please, we'll give you all this money, we'll give you everything, we'll give you way more, we'll make our homeless people in Toronto sleep on the streets in January, in the middle of winter, underneath a gardener, and we'll put you up in hotels, please, we have to screw this place up, we have to destroy Canada, so my globalist, super rich people who want to use the UN to control the whole world, please, so they can take it over, please. And so our miserable, weak lion, bitchy man prime minister just begged and pleaded for these people to leave Jordan. And the Syrians in Jordan thought, well, I'm next door to my beloved home country of Syria, and I am in Jordan, which is very similar, and I could go back to fix my country, but with the bribe that you are giving me to come over there and screw up your country, what the hell? And so a bunch come over, right? Now, those migrants, the refugee, open borders migrants, and so on, to let in whoever, don't give a crap, don't say anything, you jerk, everyone's nice, except for people here. People here aren't nice, but everyone around the world's an angel. Right? With all that kind of insane thinking, right? Those people are not typically job creators, right? You don't have, hey, a Somali immigrant, doesn't have papers, can't speak English, doesn't have an education, refugee, whatever, paid some human traffickers, and work with some UN NGOs trying to screw up the world and take it over to get us over here, right? You can't look at him like, that's the next Bill Gates, right there. That man, I see it. I see the greatness in him. He's going to be the Bill Gates of Canada, like a Canadian Microsoft, be a billionaire, employ 500,000 Canadians, improve our economy. No. See that Syrian man who beats his wife and kids with a hockey stick? That guy's the next Steve Jobs, the next Apple, the next Canadian entrepreneur. Can contribute to our economy, make us all wealthy, employ your children. No. They just drain resources. The government has to raise taxes. That means you have less money. And more people for the same amount of jobs, basically, that means less money to pay us. Because employers can pick and choose more easily. Right? So if you only care about money, you're screwed that way too. And when it comes to culture and the character of where you live, that gets all screwed up. Now, they screw it up before to soften people like baby poo and make it easier to screw them up in other ways. But that gets all screwed up. Right? And there's tons and tons of examples, and all you have to do is you have to go, no, racist, xenophobic, don't say anything, I want to feel good. My manager, nobody can talk. Nobody says anything, so I feel bad. If you do that, you're just going to feel like shit later when radical migrant gangs are creating ghettos here, robbing, raping, and murdering people. The worse it gets, the less you can say, right? Now it's just, well, there's not that many here yet, and things are getting kind of bad, and they're draining our resources and putting up some kids some molesting local kids to the polls, some beating their wives, some want Sharia law, some want their own party, some want to take over, something that we should have Christmas. They know now, they're hip to the victim culture. Oh wait, all I have to do is be a victim and I can get whatever I want? Shit. Everything you do pisses me off. We need Sharia law. It's like, what? No. The minorities here before didn't care when, it was Christmas. They were celebrated or they didn't, but even people that weren't Christian at all thought it was nice. Nice time of year, nice Christmas lights, nice Christmas trees, people nice in a good mood, nice Christmas music. Let's take a drive around the neighborhood, look at the people that put up nice Christmas lights in their houses. Right? That's what the minorities here before did. They weren't here like, no, it pissed me off. That Christmas tree makes me cry. Fuck off. You're such a mess that nobody should put up with you until you're not. But once they learn the victim cry bully thing, then the worst elements use that to control the culture. And that's across the board from anybody. And then that type of mentality seeps into normal people. Right? So that's what we've got to guard against, is subversive elements, mass migration, open borders. We need more minorities speaking against it. We should have a group, MAII. May I say something? Minorities Against Illegal Immigration. Like, don't say that, you're right. I'm not racist. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm a 21-year-old white girl, came from a communist zombie university. I really shouldn't scream at you like that. All right, man, what's your point? Listen, 21-year-old white girl, I don't want you raped by radical migrant gangs. I'm going to be careful with who we let in. Okay? No, nobody from overseas robs, rapes, and murders anybody. Everybody's nice. People here kind of stuff, but everybody not from here is great. No, it's the opposite. People in Western countries, more opportunity, education, Western standards of living, manners and standards when it comes to their behavior, Christian culture, where we came from Christians. Make sure you're nice, do unto others, have them do unto you. We're nicer than they are. Right? There, you might see a dead body laying on the ground. A bunch of people not giving a crap. Because the price of life is so cheap in some parts of the world. Not saying that to insult them, we're saying it's a good thing. I'm saying, as nationalists versus globalism, in first world countries, we, Canada, America, Australia, England, France, Spain, Germany, we can be proud, prosperous, free, patriotic, happy people, showing the rest of the world how it's done. And then they can raise their standards of living and the way they behave, and they can copy some of the best parts, and we can trade with them, and we can be cool, and they can make their countries great. That's nationalism. Or no, we want lots of nice countries that are different, unique, protect their culture, they're fun places to live or visit. We don't want all the same corporate clone zombies, right? And we can help that. We can help them do that. Or we can get all screwed up and destroyed, and then they get all screwed up and destroyed, and then the global governance structure can control all this. Right? That's the difference. Right? And there's a massive brain drain from those countries. It's like, who can walk from Somalia to Spain, who can work in Somalia and pay human traffickers $2,000 or $5,000 to get them to Europe, right? Military-age men, between the age of 18 and 35. That's who. And that's who's coming over here. It's not like, no, I'm a mother with 3 little children, and I came all the way, I walked 7,000 miles. What? Not most of you. Most of you are military-age men just coming to take over. Right? And with the mass numbers and the culture shock and the ghettos, they naturally get together. And with the cucked up local population that can't say shit or do shit, it's like, who are you assimilating with? If you come here and people have no self-respect and don't respect each other, what culture are you assimilating with? And that's where you get the radical migrant gangs robbing, raping, and murdering people. Right? So that's the danger. So Canadians should know Germany is paying migrants or paying refugees to go home. Right? Meanwhile, a lot of them are above reproach, don't say anything, and then above the law. Because if you can't say anything, then you get in trouble. And even the law can't say anything. You know? You know, you can say to the cops, hey man, I think those Syrian refugees are robbing, raping, and murdering people in their garage. Cops will be like, I don't want to lose my job. I don't know about that. You know, hey, that white guy's jaywalking. Get him, beat him. Right? It's, you know, it's different. Right? So you can't have that culture here where you put people above reproach and above the law. Anybody. It wouldn't matter. You'd be like, yeah, guys in black jackets, black and yellow ties. Above, no. Nobody is for no reason. Above reproach, can't say anything about him, and above the law, because you can't say anything about it. But that's what they do, parts of Europe, whatever, and that's what they do here too. The media discourages it, people discourage each other, and the commie-zombie, the liberal commie-zombification of people means even if you say anything or do anything, people say, shut up, don't talk. Or they act uncomfortable, not sure, no, don't. Oh, fine, never mind. Can't have a smart conversation about what's going on here, or what our future will be. Fine, never mind. Done. But that's how places get screwed up. Right? So Canadians should know Germany is paying refugees to go home. Right? It says here from zerohedge.com. It says here, Merkel, Germany's leader Angela Merkel, offering to pay 1 year's living expenses if refugees leave Europe. By Tyler Durden, a nom de plume from the movie Fight Club, from Thursday, January 17th, 2019. An article I saved in case I wanted to blog about it. And there it is. It says here, authored by Martin Armstrong via ArmstrongEconomics.com. So that's really who's behind this, as reprinted by Zero Hedge. It says here, the latest in Germany is now Merkel, who offered cash to refugees to return home last November, has stepped up her game and offered to pay their living expenses for 1 year if they return home. Why? It's not because she's like, screw these people. It's because shit got so awful in Germany that the German people just went crazy about how bad things got. You know, there are opinion polls saying 50% of people want to leave Germany. Now that's been their home for 4,000 years. And they're like, that's it, I'm out. I don't care if my ancestors built a great country, paid taxes, made it a great place for us to live. I'm out. This is ridiculous. Because things got so awful, she kind of has to sort of say and do stuff like this to appeal to where public opinion went. But it only went there after conditions made it awful, when they wouldn't let each other talk about it, and then things got so bad you just can't leave your house. Right? There are women in Germany that don't leave their house after 6 p.m. because they're radical migrant gangs robbing, raping, and murdering people, and miserable, lying, bitchy, cucked up men who won't do anything except for bother each other and them to help them. Right? Just like the 18 women molested on a German subway train for 2 hours by a radical African migrant who just got there. Or other stuff happening all over the place. Right? So that's what's happening. That's why promoting polite patriotism at manforwars.com, for example. So here is an ad, an advertisement that is currently, I guess, funded by the German government. And it says here, voluntary return. Get up to 12 months additional financial assistance for housing in your country of origin when you apply by December 31st, 2018. Your country, your future, now. www.returningfromgermany.de/English. See? And you can have the same thing happening here. Right? Yeah, I want to be nice. Don't say anything. Yeah, I'm fine, no problem. I want to be nice. Nobody say anything. Yeah, I want to be nice. God damn, what the hell happened to this place? No-go zones in Toronto. You can't go there. You can't go there. You can't go there. Hand grenade attacks. Radical migrant gangs robbing, raping, and murdering people. Miserable, hypersensitive people who won't let anybody say shit about it. They feel bad enough. The same thing happened here. Canadian government announces even more of your tax money. It costs a ton of it to I'll bring you over here, settle it, pay for hire people to deal with all this, blah, blah. No, even more. He said, please go home. Here's $100,000. Please go home. Here's 2 years limit. Please just leave. Leave. You never wanted to be here. You never liked it here. You just came here for the free stuff because our prime minister's the bitch. And then once a couple of you heard about it, you put it out on Facebook and told your buddies. Same thing can happen here. So back to this article from Zero Hedge, Martin Armstrong via ArmstrongEconomics.com. It says here, billboards are appearing all over Germany making this latest offer. Believe it or not, more than 20,000 refugees vanished when they were going to be deported. Right? They got their deportation order. By the way, it took us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years to figure out whether or not you should be in our country, see if you're a criminal, good person or bad person. And now we found out you're a bad person and you should go back. They're just gone. They disappeared. You know, it's like, hey, welcome to Canada. Because of the stupid way we're doing this, your refugee hearing to see if you should be here or not is in 3 years. I'll go screw around for 3 years and apply for financial assistance. And 3 years later, refugee hearing. Okay, let's go over. Oh my God, you robbed, raped, and murdered people in your own country, and you were going to go to jail. That's why you came here, so you wouldn't go to jail in your own country. You have to go. If they even show up to the refugee hearing, you might find that out. And if they don't, maybe they'll go over it anyway and go, shit. Try you in your absence, and then try and find you. That's what's happening. It's already happened in Europe. You'd be like, don't be racist, don't be this, don't be that. It's already happened. Happened in England, happened in Europe, whatever. It's already happened to a place just like this. Right? Now you can't. I've been to England, I've been to London, I've been to Paris, I've been to Athens, Greece, I've been to Rome, Italy. And now I watch YouTube videos showing, Paul Joseph Watson from InfoWars fame, with his, good-looking guy, cool British accent, even keel. Paris is a shithole. He just says Paris is a shithole. Then I made a video for the Toronto election when John Tory recently got elected a few months ago, saying stop Toronto from turning into a shithole like Paris. Right? And it referenced that. I played some of his video, put a link to it. I expanded on it in my own video. Right? And you don't just say that because you hate French people. You say that because you point out how it's a shithole. See? No-go zones. See, they have signs on the street now saying don't shit here. You know, see, they have barriers so that people can go places and people won't drive cars and trucks into them. See, they have, you know, people can't go to certain areas, right? So people, there's crime, drugs, there's people sleeping on the streets, the people living like they're living, you know, a broken poor in Africa or whatever, on the streets of Paris. As opposed to polite, proud Parisians controlling their country, communicating well, making it cool, other countries cool, and then helping these other countries bring up their standards of living. Instead, we're taking ours down to the third world status. Weak third world, you know, what happened to the West? First world countries. Drop them. Drop them economically, drop them with liberal economic policies, drop them with liberal identity politics, drop them. Conservatives try and preserve what works to make people happy. Liberals try and push for changes to make people happy. When they respect each other, they have great conversations. When they don't, liberals make sure nobody can talk because they hate and fear conservatives, whereas conservatives are typically not showy, but they laugh at liberals. Do you believe how stupid these people are? It is insane, right? But it's also very dangerous because they get together in commie zombie mobs, like, you know, here, for example, or like Antifa in Germany, and they make sure nobody can say shit. Genderless, dressed in black, no men, no women, can't talk to people they disagree with, can't talk to each other, just quiet, uncomfortable. And then, all right, you ready? All you messed up, miserable people, go out there, run wild in the streets, bother everybody, smash things. The government's fine with it, the media's fine with it, make everyone quiet and uncomfortable. Anybody says anything different, get them. If you see anybody that's a YouTuber or an independent media person that doesn't agree, beat them up. Yeah. And they send out these commie zombie mobs to make everyone quiet and scared, and then they go back to being quiet with each other. And it's the same sort of brainwashing they're applying to us here in Toronto, Canada, and in Canada as well, and worldwide, right? Otherwise, nice, polite conservatives, nice, polite liberals can have great conversations. Say, well, I think we should preserve our works to make people happy. Liberals say, well, hold on, I think we should make some changes to make people happy. This and that going on today. You say, oh, no problem. Can we make some changes while still preserving what works so people can be happy? Well, I guess we could. Yeah, sure. Right? That's conversation. Not everything sucked before. Canadians were racist, sexist, phobic, scumbags, treat natives bad, rob people, this, that. So what? How old are you? 21? Shut up. Listen. Learn. No. I was here when I was 21. It was quite some time ago. That's not true. But they'll make everyone act like that. Right? So it says here, billboards appearing all over Germany make this latest offer. Believe it or not, more than 20,000 refugees vanished when they were going to be deported. This illustrates that politicians should simply not, capital letters, block capital, bold, be allowed to make unilateral decisions. In this case, Merkel's decision has impacted all of Europe when the rest of Europe had no opportunity to agree or vote on the issue. And that's right, because Germany is the dominant player in the European Union, and as part of globalism, they want to destroy individual countries, and they want to bring them all into a global governance framework. This is how they do it regionally, right? They'll have a European Union, then they'll have an American Union from the North Pole of Canada to the South Pole of South America. So it's all controlled, and then they'll make the dominant country control the policies for everybody, and then they'll fold all that into a global government controlling everything. That's the plan, right? And so that's what they screwed up Europe. And now they do polls in Europe saying 70-80% of people saying this is all crazy and screwed up. Right? And it's not, and these are European countries that are very different. You might be like, the French do this, the Spaniards do this, oh, we British people do this, right? Oh, we Irish people do this. Well, you know, the Scots would like to do this. They all agree on this immigration thing. They all agree this has been done really badly. We didn't hate each other. We didn't hate the colored people here before, and they didn't hate us. A couple idiots, but they're stupid. Nobody really takes them that seriously, and they have to stop to be taken seriously, or you're going to take it seriously. Right? That's it. But they all agree. They do polls. 27 different European Union nations, and 70-80% across these 27 different countries all say this is a bad idea. This is bad. So why should Canada do it when they've already gone through this experiment? Why can't we respect each other like polite Canadian ladies and gents? Our national identity being polite Canadians. Otherwise, what do we have? Right? And then from there, why can't we control, why can't we communicate well and say no? You hate Muslims? No, I don't hate Muslims. I like the Muslims that don't hate us and want to destroy our culture and bring in Sharia law. Like my buddy Raj, or whoever, who I went to school with. My buddy Mohammed, good guy. My buddy Cage, who I used to hang out with and debating. When I was debating public speaking university, he didn't drink. He went to Muslim thing on Friday, but he hung out with us and we got shit-faced. Because he was happy being Muslim, we were happy being drunken Canadians. Right? So Friday, evening you debate and you drink, and then Saturday you debate during the day, Saturday night you drink, and Sunday morning you got the playoffs, whatever. If you make the playoffs, you're in the playoffs. And our buddy, Muslim guy, not super hardcore, screw all you, no, just Canadian, he would hang out with us while we get drunk until about midnight, and then he'd be like, all right guys, I'm out of here, have a good night. We're like, all right, hey Cage, listen, are we too drunk to make sense? He goes, yep. See, I told you, man, I told you we were too drunk to make sense. All right, bro, have a good night. Yeah, you two guys, we'll see you tomorrow. And he'd just leave. Go back to his hotel or billet or whatever and chill out, go sleep. We drink. Nobody cared. That's the difference. Right? And if you want to do more Chinese, more Muslim, more Indian, more African, more whatever things, more Latino, it didn't matter. Because we were all unified in being polite Canadians. And then when you get with people where you have similar interests, and you listen to rap music, you do Chinese things, Indian things, Muslim things, it didn't matter. But that's the mutual respect, not the paranoid victim culture, messed up, bother people, whatever. That's not what this place was. That's what we're losing. Right? You'd be like, whatever, things change. Who's changing it? Are we talking about changing it? If we're not talking about changing it, then who's talking about changing where we live? If we start, then we will. Change it for the better. If we don't, then someone will change it for the worse. And if people don't let each other talk and make each other quiet and uncomfortable, like Antifa-style commie zombies, then we won't be able to do anything. You see? So here at 5:55 p.m. Saturday, February 23rd, 2019, BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com promoting polite patriotism. If people are interested, or just keep my self-respect and checking once in a while. That's the end of this Zero Hedge article. So again, Merkel, Germany's leader, Merkel offering to pay 1 year's living expenses if refugees leave Europe. So Canadians should know Germany is paying refugees to leave. That's the title of this video, and I hope that helps explain why. So anyway, regardless, BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com. Feel free to support the Man for Wars efforts. Success breeds more, or it doesn't, and you're just kind of, doing your thing, or just minding your business, not trying not to bother people with stuff they don't care about, like being nice, proud, polite, patriotic Canadians, nice to each other, raising confident, happy children, communicating well, and defending their country against, subversion and outside influences. If they're interested, great. Not, don't be an ass and get in people's faces with bullshit they don't give a crap about. That's how we got in this mess in the first place. Right? There you go. So, 5:56 p.m., Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.